I think it's like the Goldilocks rule. You always want to be slightly out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
If you're too far out of your comfort zone, you'll just have a breakdown. You won't be able to handle it.
Yeah.
And if it's too easy, it'll be boring.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably an element of that. Like running a uni club is the perfect way to like get a bit of life experience, but it's not like running a real business.
No.
And from there, I went on to start taking some real qualified group classes in Southampton, and then I progressed from there to go out and kind of run the fitness department at a 5-star hotel, and started doing all these different classes and taking morning runs, taking group cycle rides. Came back from there and start taking group sessions in different amazing gyms and places in London, go on to do my own private PT, gradually making things kind of like more and more complex over time and slightly more and more scary. And now it's leading a run for a few hundred people with Runna. So like that's not so scary based on what I did like a month ago, but based on what I did like 5 years ago, it's impossible. And I think like with that in mind, like to anyone who's like thinking, how do I get to 5 years away? It's almost like, don't worry about that. Just like be good in a week, and what you'll then be able to do in 2 weeks is only achievable because of what you do in the week interim. And you don't notice these small steps when they're happening, but then when you zoom out and look back, they seem kind of like this crazy ladder. How do you climb it?
Yeah, no, for sure. And just one last thing in those kind of earlier years for you, do you think you were addicted to the fitness stuff?
I think I'm an extremely addictive personality. So I think, and I don't know enough about autism and ADHD, but I think, and I don't even know which one it is, but I think one of my parents is either, and I can't remember. My older brother's explicitly autistic. My younger sister is ADHD. Yeah. I'm quite sure that I'm on like the spectrums of them. I've never been tested or whatever. And also on my mum's side of the family, like there's a few kind of alcoholics as well. Okay. I think I'm an extremely like addictive personality, but I think I'm also quite like in control enough to know what to like be addicted to. Yeah. Maybe when I was addicted to my Call of Duty phase, like that was not that healthy. Yeah. But I didn't have anything better to do, so it was fine. And then ever since then, it was probably the gym for a very long time. And then from the gym, it transitioned into Ironman, and we can talk about that. And now it's Runna, but I haven't lost my passion or enthusiasm for the Ironman and all the exercise. So it's very hard to be extremely addicted to both. And therefore, one has to give all the time, and that's frustrating because I can't nail both as well as I would like. Yeah. But yeah, I think like with that in mind, like knowing that maybe is like a personality trait is a very powerful thing, and probably lets me work harder than normal people might want to work without it feeling like prison. But at the same time, probably need to make sure I avoid certain things, otherwise that could be really bad.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of resonate with it personally because I've always had that. I mean, people have always told me I'm addicted to building what I'm building, and I've always been a bit worried about it from like my perspective, thinking like, I know I've got an addictive personality. If I go too far into things, and I've always stayed very far away from the bad stuff, if I'm honest, but those sort of addicted feelings, it's very kind of go into that flow state with it. And we were talking kind of off camera about a bit of cycling and stuff, which I'm into, and I just find that I do get really addicted to those feelings because you're addicted to the endorphins, etc. But it seems like luckily you've put all that addiction, if we call it that, into positive outlets that you can actually be passionate about and have I guess good angles. I'm sure we'll talk about how getting involved in the business so deeply can also have negative impacts, but it feels like that's where you've gone with it.
Yeah, I think the thing that I have discovered that I'm addicted to is progress. As in, like, I'm not addicted to when I play Call of Duty, like even looking back at it, I was addicted to like improving my like KD ratio, which is like your kill death ratio. I was addicted to like unlocking the camouflages to get the cool guns so I could like have the coolest guns at school. Yeah. Like, so even in that ridiculous phase, I was addicted to getting better. Then the gym, I was addicted to like getting a 6-pack, improving my bench press, looking phenomenal. Then I transition into running, into Ironman. I'm addicted to first of all finishing an Ironman. I do my first Ironman, and then the goal's like I could do better. And the goal in fitness ever since has been get better at Ironman, get better at running and cycling, and that's never changed. And now I'm addicted to running this interesting business and making it better. And like even today, like there are so many gaps and opportunities for us to make it so much better. So I'm like so obsessed with like finding those cracks, finding the solutions, and the solutions aren't very easy to find. And then like working on those. And by the time we solve them, some new cracks will have happened and we'll make them better. And so it's like, I don't think it's that like I'm addicted to like, I'm not just addicted to drinking beer and lying in bed and ruining my life. I'm addicted to like getting better at things. And relatively, I think if I find something that can make me excited to want to get better at it, I find it very hard to like think about anything else.
No, I resonate with that quite a lot. So at uni, you did your first half marathon. Was that your first ever half?
It was my second. I did one with my dad's like corporate place he got, and did that when I was 17, and then didn't run basically from 17, other than like running around a sports pitch or running around the lap of circuits class until this kind of half marathon at 21.
Do you remember it?
The half?
Yeah.
I do distinctly, partly because there are a few photos of me at the finish line in very short blue shorts, and it looks like I shat myself. And I didn't, but they were too short, so my thighs rubbed to the point where they chafed and then bled, and then the blood dried. So at the finish line, it looks like I've shat myself.
That kind of like when blood kind of goes a bit brown.
It goes a bit brown, and there was like quite a lot of it, to the point where like I finished. I think I did a 1:28 half marathon, so I was like a really fit guy despite being probably like 95 kilos and huge.
95 kilos.
But I really committed to this half marathon, did relatively well there, and I'd always been aerobically fit despite thinking about kind of the goal being be big and strong, but I always wanted to be doing lean and have a six-pack, so I did my cardio and then really committed to this half marathon. But yeah, I finished that half marathon with a very uncomfortable situation, and I got escorted off to the medical tent once they realised it wasn't poo, it was blood. And that felt ridiculous because there's all these people passed out and I'm there like just with some sore thighs. So anyway, they like cleaned me up and sent me on my way. And then as a uni student who can't really afford a taxi or whatever, I remember having to like waddle for like half an hour with like me and two mates to get to like the burger place back where like the student accommodation was. So that wasn't a fun walk. But yeah, I remember it, and it was a very proud day because it was the first time I'd really like been able to see the people that I'd helped in their running journey, like actually gone to achieve something. And
because it was 19 others and you, right?
I can't remember how many of us it was, but it was a team of like doing 10, 15, 20 of us who went on to do it.
And you were the best runner at that point, effectively?
Yeah, I was the best runner of the group.
Yeah.
And relatively the fit guy of the group who was leading all the strength classes and then also putting the runs together.
Yeah.